Hello, Tiger Sports fans, and welcome back to another episode of Tiger Sports Nation. I'm Francisco Vila.
And I'm Christian Troop, and we're going to give you all the info you need as we head to the upcoming weekend of action.
The men's and women's cross-country teams will be in Springfield, Ohio this weekend competing in the NCAC championships. They look to finish the season strong as the women come off a 9th place finish, and the men look to build off their 10th place finish at the Augustana Invitational.
The men's soccer team will be on the road against Wabash today at 4 p.m. in a game that could give them a spot in the NCAC tournament. The Tigers defeated Allegheny in their last game by a score of 2-0 on goals from Sam Thiel and Clay Troyer. Wabash will come into the game with a record of 10-5-1 and 3-3 in the conference, having dropped their last match to OWU by a score of 2-0. The Tigers will be back at home for Senior Day on Saturday against Kenyon.
Great job from the soccer team. The football team will be back at home this Saturday as they'll take on the Denison Big Red. The Tigers will look to remain undefeated in conference play as they're coming off a convincing 38-14 win at Allegheny, a game in which QB Chase Andrews threw for 3 touchdowns and ran for another, connecting with wide receiver Trey Shaw for 2 of them. Denison will enter the matchup with a record of 5-2 and 5-1 in conference as they're coming off a convincing win of their own, beating Worcester 54-28 in last Saturday's contest.
The men's and women's swim teams will be in Bethel this weekend for their second meets of the season. In their last meets, the men placed 6th out of 10, while the women placed 5th out of 12 at the Indiana Intercollegiates at Purdue.
The volleyball team will be at Wash U to wrap up their season with a doubleheader. They'll play Millikan at 1 p.m. and Wash U at 3:30 p.m. on Saturday. The Tigers will look to finish the season strong as they come off a 5-set home victory over OWU last weekend.
The women's soccer team will also look to finish up their season on a high note as they host Kenyon on Saturday in their final game of the season. The Tigers will come into this one with a record of 2-8-2 as they fell to OWU in their last game, with the lone goal being scored by Sarah Bird. Kenyon comes into play with a record of 7-7-1 and 4-1-1 in the conference.
And that will do it for this episode of Tiger Sports Nation. Please leave a like and share if you enjoyed. I'm Francisco Vila.
And I'm Christian Troop. And as always,
Roll Tigs!